Well, hey, this is Rhonda Simmons, and welcome to another edition of Empowered Heart to Heart. I'm so glad you're here because without you, I wouldn't have a show. Well, I guess in the podcast world, yes, I could just be talking to thin air, but that's no fun. So I am so glad that you're here and you're listening, and you may even be watching our YouTube channel, also called Empowered Heart to Heart. If you are, make sure you like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe and hit the notification button so that you will know every single time I upload a video because we are on the move. 2024 will be not like no other year, and I mean that in a very positive way. We are making strides in our business and in our community, and we are causing and facilitating impact because one thing I know about this life is that it's ever changing, and it's time that we change with it. And so I'm real excited about our podcast and the direction that it's going because we do provide a holistic approach to women's empowerment. Have you ever had everything in your life going well, except for this one area? Well, we talk about it all and we do it in a professional way so that people can get the help, the hope, and the strategies that they need to be successful and to thrive in their lives. If you're wanting to reach out to us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And our handle is TSEFIORG for the Simmons Empowerment Foundation Incorporated. That was too long to type, so that's why we ended up with a short acronym. And so I have said this every single time I have interviewed someone on our show because I only select the best. And let me just tell you, if you're going to be on my show, there is an application process because we want to present people with quality interviews that people can walk away with actionable strategies to help them in their lives. And tonight or today, whenever you're watching this, is no exception. And I can say this that I have met some of the best people this side of heaven, and tonight is no exception. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you? Yeah, you did. I've said it enough times to for you to know that it's true. And tonight and or today or whenever is no exception. And I am really excited about our guest today because we are continuing the series, The Heart of the Matter, because February is Heart Health Month. Plus, it's Black History Month. Plus, there are so many different other celebrations going on in the month of February. And so we just summed it all up as the heart of the matter. And I'm super excited because our guest today is a nurse. She's a registered nurse with 20 years experience, and she's now working in private practice for herself in holistic wellness and life coaching. Um, oh, there we go. And she also has a personal health journey that we may touch on a little bit with a rare invisible illness that required her to focus on herself. And that's something as women we don't tend to do. We will help everyone else, but we won't take care of ourselves. And so our guest tonight is going to talk about that and how she had to slow down and nourish her body and had to take care of herself so that she could be a blessing to other people. And so her business is founded on supporting dedicated women and leaders to create a heart aligned life. I love that. And to restore balance in their physical, mental, and spiritual health. See, I told you. We're all about holistic approaches here because there's so much to us. And as women, our lives are so multifaceted. So today, I really would love for you to meet my guest tonight, none other than Sara Bohling. Hello, Sara. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I am so excited about your background and what you have to offer because balance is not uh, something that is common among us women. We, would you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is hard. It is hard some days.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because I think we just have this innate desire and ability to be all things to all people, and we try to solve it all, and we never take care of ourselves. And it sounds like you had a personal journey to that effect as well.
Yes, absolutely. My health journey. So in 2016 and before, I was a very healthy nurse. I worked in the neonatal intensive care unit, taking care of those tiny, tiny babies and loving every minute of it. I had two small kids at the time, and I was balancing, but not very well. And then I woke up one day in early 2017 and I could not get out of bed, and the doctors did not know what was wrong with me. Um, every lab test, every x ray, anything like that was all normal. So it took a long time and a lot of advocating for myself and believing that I trusted my body and I knew what was going on with it and something was not right. Um, to keep pushing to get a diagnosis. And I did indeed have a very rare, like less than 1% of the population, rare, invisible neurologic illness of a spontaneous spinal fluid leak. And it took about a year for it to get treated. And then I really have been in recovery this whole time since then, relearning how to I had to learn how to walk and drive and cook and all the things, all again. So it has been a
Wow.
road for sure.
Wow. Wow. That is scary. That
Yes.
is really scary to be well one day and unable to move the next. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you have a good support system throughout this process?
Yes, incredible. I could not ask for a better support system. My husband was amazing. He deserves a special Medal of Honor for all that he has helped me through and supported me through. My kids were incredible. They were young, they're 4 and 7 at the time.
Mhm.
Um, and even though they were young, they were really empathetic and understanding. And I think while I wouldn't have wanted this to happen, this happening has really impacted how they're being raised and they're becoming kind of more empathetic humans because they know that not everyone's life is easy peasy, um, and had some great family around as well, so super grateful for all the family and friends support.
Good. That's great to hear. Great to hear. Did you ever find out what caused this uh, instantaneous spinal fluid leak?
So they're not sure, but what they think happened is some type of viral illness attacked my nervous system because I had some signs of virus, elevated temperature, body pain, that sort of thing, but nothing more than that. And so we never found the diagnosis on any lab tests. I didn't have any respiratory symptoms or anything like that. I know with COVID, when I say virus, people get a little nervous, but didn't have any of those type of symptoms. So we think it was just a viral illness that attacked my nervous system and created that leak in my the lining of my spinal cord.
Wow. Wow. Well, before I go any further, I do want to thank you for being a first responder
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, thank you.
through everything that the world has been through. I don't think we thank first responders enough for all that you do, especially for those that can't do for themselves, the little ones. And
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
so, how did this illness change your life moving forward in
Mm,
your career choices or anything else?
yes. It almost feels like a better question as to how this illness did not change my life because it has impacted it in every single way. Um, a huge way that it has impacted it is I have had to create really healthy, strong boundaries for myself in the time, the energy, what I say yes to right now, because I don't have the capacity that I used to have. So I have to be careful about where I'm saying yes. And when I say yes to one thing, that means I'm saying no to something else. So I always want to make sure that it is a best yes and it's the best use of my time, my resources, my money, my energy, all those things. So that's been a huge part of it, is shifting that instead of being the busy, busy on the go, oh, you'll sleep when you're dead type of a mentality. I've really had to hone in and being really mindful of healthy boundaries and taking care of myself a lot more than I ever had before. Getting more rest, eating more nourishing foods, like hot baths, nervous system regulation, all those kind of things that are, they're kind of basic to so many people, but we also don't think about them because we get so busy with all of our scheduled things running here, there, and everywhere that we forget that we need to slow down, and our bodies are begging us to slow down. And when you don't listen to them, your body's going to make you stop eventually if you keep ignoring it.
Absolutely. Everything that you're mentioning, I'm thinking we would call that self-care, but
Mm-hmm.
you've moved that to this is your standard of care.
Yes, absolutely. I would call it health care, a switch from self care, because I feel sometimes we feel like self care is selfish, and self care is getting your nails done and eating chocolate and those kind of more frivolous things. And I really look at it more, yes, it is self care because it's caring for myself and this body that I'm in, because you only get one body, so we need to care for it so deeply and so nourishingly that it can handle what we're asking it to do every day. So as I've shifted from the hustle world to the nourishing, cultivating world, I will call it, I also have shifted my career path as well, to something that is more balanced and nourishing. And it's not the 12, 14, 16-hour night shifts that I used to do, taking care of babies, and we're short staffed and we need help. And can you come in at 3 in the morning? And all of those things, um, that I used to do because I was so dedicated to my patients, the families, the other nurses at the hospital. Um, I never wanted to be the reason that someone didn't get safe care. And now that I have my own practice, I get to decide what my schedule is and how much self care I can include so that I don't end up back in a bad situation.
Oh my goodness. Wow. You are amazing, Sarah, because it's like you were in a conversation I had just a few hours ago talking about the benefits of working for yourself and setting your own hours and just stepping out of the rat race, so to speak.
Yes.
And I don't know why sometimes as humans we tend to wait until some catastrophe, and I'm not saying this is what you did,
Mhm.
but I don't know why it takes a catastrophe for us to wake up and realize, okay, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing with the rest of my life, and you make that sudden change.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we kind of get that Superman, I'm invincible feeling about us, that, oh, that might happen to someone else. That's not going to happen to me. I can handle it. I can handle adding one more thing, one more commitment, one more shift at work, that kind of thing. And so often, it, like you said, it takes that catastrophic life shifting event, whether it's yourself, your child, your best friend, your sibling, your parent, something like that, to really grab us by the shoulders and shake us and say, you can't do it all. You can't do it all. You need to prioritize the best things for you. Otherwise, you can see what happens. Tragic, life altering things can happen if you don't listen to that little voice that gets louder and louder over time.
Wow. Wow, you're so spot on. So spot on. Um Now that you've come through your health crisis
Yeah.
and you continue to come through it,
Yeah.
um, if you knew then what you know now,
Mm.
would you do anything differently?
Mm. I think that I would give myself more grace, 100% in all areas of my life. I was really trying to be the perfect working mom, wife, employee leader at my hospital because I not only took care of babies at the bedside, I also was in a leadership role. I kind of had a dual role at work. So I was trying to be all things to all people. So going back, I think I would give myself a lot more grace and I would ask for help and accept that help far more often because I kept thinking, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I got it. This is what moms do. This is what busy moms do is we take it on. We got big shoulders. We can handle it. And my shoulders were not that big. So I think I would ask for more help and support and give myself more grace and not be as much of a perfectionist.
Wow. That's encouraging, very encouraging. So, looking at your life now and projecting maybe about 5 years from now, where do you see yourself in the future?
Yes. I love to dream about the future and think about what what if everything was great? What would my life look like? And I think 5 years from now, in my ideal world, I would be having my thriving private practice, my private coaching practice, where I can support women to create more balance, to find the ways that their heart is aligned in their life. I would have a thriving practice. I would have lots of space and capacity for work life balance so that I can continue these rhythms of my health care that are in place now. Getting out in nature every single day, except when it's negative 30, like it was last week at my house. Um, and I would be spending intentional time with my family, like all those things that are super important and nourishing to me, creating relationships in my faith world, all those kind of things, and supporting other women as well, and really leading by example for what I'm encouraging other women and leaders to do in our communities.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So I hear you've written a book called When Grit and Grace Collide, Persevering Through Life's Challenges with Grit and God's Grace. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So where can we find your book?
Yes, it is available on Amazon. That's the only place that it's available right now. And from what I hear other people say, it's a pretty quick read because they get to the end of one chapter and they have to keep going to the next one. They're like, I want to see what happens. So I really try to be really candid and transparent about my health journey and some other journeys in my life. And I want it to feel like you and I are having coffee together and I'm telling you this story. That was the lens that I wrote the book in. And yeah, I would love for anyone to check it out. And if you do read it, reach out. Let me know what hit home with you. If you learned anything, if anything resonated, if you know someone who's in a similar position, I would love to connect and talk more about it.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. So I will put the title of your book in the description as well as the Amazon link. I'll look it up and get that link and put it in the description of the podcast and the YouTube video so people can click on that link and go directly to your book. That is wonderful. So as we wrap up, Sarah, um, if you had to give a word of wisdom to women today, from your experiences, what would that be?
Mm. My word of wisdom would be to slow down enough to listen to the whispers of your heart. So often the whispers of your heart are indeed whispers, but they are so, so important. So slow down, get quiet enough where you can listen to those whispers and then lean in to them because that is the place where you are meant to be, where your purpose is meant to be. And if you follow that whisper and give yourself grace and space to get there, I think you'll be living an incredible, well balanced life.
Absolutely. Sarah, thank you so much for being on our show today. I have been so enlightened and so encouraged by your testimony and your life story. And thank you for being bold enough to share it and to come through it and to be in a better place. Sometimes you don't even realize that where you are is not the best place you could be
Oh,
until
yeah.
something changes. And
Yeah.
so, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And if you'll just hang out for a minute, I'll wrap up the show and
Sure.
I'll get right back to you.
Sounds great.
Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, that was so enlightening and so encouraging because we need to find balance. We're in such a busy world with so much going on, and we go and go and go. And yet we're shocked when we hear people, who are so healthy, they fall, prey to a serious illness like Sarah, or worse, some people just drop, and they're gone because they did not take time to listen to the whispers of their heart and of their body, like Sarah suggested. And so it's real important that we take care of ourselves so that we can bring the best of us to our families, our friends, our communities, and even our jobs. And so until the next time, be blessed, be encouraged, be healthy, be balanced, and most of all, be empowered. And I'll see you on the next edition of Empowered Heart to Heart.